Last Wednesday night was senior night for BHS baseball and softball players. Before the start of the night's games, 3 softball players, Jesse Hill, Haley Kelsey, and Christina Scudder, and 2 baseball players, Jacob Shipman and Cale Watson, were honored. After being introduced to the crowd, the seniors were presented with gifts by their teammates.
Wednesday night, the Brashear chapter of FBLA held their first evening meeting. Members of the Truman State University SIFE Club, students in free enterprise, were on hand to conduct a game of Jeopardy with topics related to business and finance. The FBLA students also constructed and raced solar cars in the gym. Many of the teams went to great lengths to get the maximum performance for their machines. The evening was then topped off with a pizza party in the cafeteria.
Last Monday night, it looked like it might be another extra inning game with Knox County, as both pitchers held their opponents scoreless through 3 innings. Knox finally got on the board in the 4th with a run on a pair of consecutive hits. They also added an insurance run in the 7th on a hit and an error. Brashear looked like they would make some noise in the 6th when Jesse Hill led off with a single and Christina Scudder drew a walk. With runners at first and second and no outs, Haley Kelsey bunted, and Knox managed to force Hill at third. Abby McKim followed with a grounder between first and second that skipped up, hitting Kelsey for the second out. Carmen Woods then lined a ball back to the pitcher, and Brashear's best scoring chance was over. Abby McKim and Jesse Hill had hits, and Christina Scudder drew a pair of walks. Scudder took the loss, striking out 11 and giving up 3 hits. Last Wednesday night, Brashear faced La Plata for a pair of conference games. In the softball game, things started off well enough for Brashear as they retired the Lady Bulldogs in order in top of the first. Things started to go wrong after that in the bottom of the first when Christina Scudder ripped a 1-out triple only to be stranded at third. Things went seriously wrong in the top of the second when La Plata's leadoff batter reached on an error. Another error and a couple more hits had La Plata holding a 3-0 lead. More Brashear errors and some timely hits allowed La Plata to add runs in the 3rd, 4th, 6th, and 7th innings for a final tally of 8 runs. Brashear got on the scoreboard in the 3rd after Abby McKim and Tabitha Killen both singled. Brashear's other run came in the 6th when Haley Kelsey drew a leadoff walk followed by a Christina Scudder line drive to left and a Carmen Woods single to center. This gave Brashear its second and final run in the 8-2 loss. Christina Scudder, Abby McKim, Carmen Woods, and Tabitha Killen had hits for Brashear. Scudder pitched and took the loss. The baseball contest had a lot riding on the line as both teams were undefeated in Tri-County Conference play. Brashear scored a run in the 3rd, but La Plata answered in the 4th to tie the game. The Bulldogs then added single runs in the 5th, 6th, and 7th to go up 4-1. Things weren't quite over yet as Tigers shortstop Cale Watson drew a walk and right fielder Daniel Smith brought them both in to score with a home run in the 7th. Brashear couldn't sustain the rally and fell 4-3 to the Bulldogs. Matt Thomas pitched, picking up 7 strikeouts in the 7-inning loss. He helped himself at the plate as well, going 2 for 3 on the night. Ryan Ferdig also had a hit. This game closed out the fall baseball season for the Tigers, who finished with a record of 7-1. Green City came to Brashear last Thursday night for a varsity JV softball doubleheader. It was a special night for Brashear seniors Jesse Hill, Haley Kelsey, and Christina Scudder. This was their final game on their home field. Hill made some fine defensive plays and got to try her hand at catching in the JV game. Kelsey went 3 for 3 in the varsity game and got a chance to pitch an inning of relief in the JV game. Scudder also went 3 for 3 in the varsity game while fanning 9 in the 5-inning contest and getting to play first base in the JV game. In the varsity game, Brashear jumped out to an early lead in the bottom of the first when Kelsey, Scudder, Abby McKim, and Emily Lodwig all singled, plating 3 runs. The scoring picked up again in the 3rd, with Brashear scoring 6 more runs. With the score standing at 10-1 in the bottom of the 5th, Kelsey led off with a hit and Scudder drove her in to end the game by the 10-run rule. Kelsey, Scudder, Abby McKim, Emily Lodwig, and Shelby Rogers all had hits for Brashear. Haley Kelsey ended the JV game 6-5 with a hit after Abby McKim drew a leadoff walk in the bottom of the 3rd. Emily Lodwig pitched the first 2 innings, and then Kelsey took the mound, teaming up with catcher Jesse Hill for old time's sake. Kelsey pitched the final inning in relief, striking out 1. Hill, Alexis Harrelson, Stephanie Linhart, Stephanie Elsie, and Haley Kelsey all had hits, and Christina Scudder finally got her chance to lay down a sacrifice bunt. Brashear finished their regular season 10-6 with a 6-2 record in conference. The Lady Tigers will face Knox County this afternoon in the first round of district play.